Winners. We're winning today, baby. Yes, we are. Game on.
Hey there, my name is Zed Howie, and this is Howie Grow a Brand. 1, 2, 3. If you like what you learned from this video, help us promote this channel by clicking the like button below and subscribing to our channel. Ready to go? Let's get into today's chat.
So I got a question for you. Do you have to suffer to win? Is suffering a prerequisite to winning? Well, I personally don't believe that suffering is a prerequisite for winning, but I do believe more times than not, to take full advantage of the win, then it does require some suffering. So some of you know, some of you don't, but if you don't know, you're about to. I teach indoor cycling.
I shine hotter than the stars in the night, though. Hate the who's, don't give me a title.
Yeah, I know. You looked at the body and thought, clearly, fitness model.
Flipped in that set, so I don't worry the price, though.
And that is not the thing typically a 47-year-old decides they're going to get into. And I'm 54 now, and I've taught probably about 1,200 classes, I'm thinking, and written many more. So why do I do that? Life is definitely full. As my wife explains, it is a hobby, not a career. But what I do and why I do that is because every time I walk into that room and get on that bike, I have an opportunity to win. And in our environment, within our brand, within our community, I can win, and so can every single person next to me. And that's not always the way it is with life. And I'm not saying that's the way it should be all the time. Now, there's some cycling brands that it's all about being on the leaderboard and beating the person next to you or below you or above you and all that kind of stuff. And that's not a bad thing. But I kind of am naturally wired that way. So I love going into a situation where I can win and allow those to win with me. When I'm coaching, hopefully I'm inspiring everyone riding together to win the day. Win the day is one of my go-to themes. So here's the deal. I've taught tons of classes. I usually teach at 5:30 a.m. or 7 a.m. in the morning. And I got to tell you, people that show up to ride at 5:30 or 7, they're not coming to just kind of coast along. They're not coming just to see what's going to happen. They literally have set their alarm for like 4:30 or 4:40 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get up and work their ass off. Now, I believe one of the reasons why those of us that do that is that I know that if I win my ride for myself, if I win the reward for the effort, then I'm going to have a higher probability of winning the next thing and winning the next thing, and I'm going to win the day. Now, let me just give you a brief aside. Where this gets really kind of like caustic in my mind is when my winning is based on comparing it to your loss. Now, I'm not talking about the Olympics, and I'm not talking about a football game. I'm talking about life. Shouldn't we all be able to win our own personal races? And shouldn't we all be coming up side along each other and inspiring that win? I believe more times than not, contrary to what the world tells us, is that we can win and those around us can win too. This notion of winning and suffering, I do not believe they are mutually dependent 100% of the time. I definitely don't believe they're mutually exclusive. So 2 weeks ago, I taught a 5:30 class. The 5:30 class was the speed Tabata class. And if you've never done a Tabata drill, it's really a phenomenal ride because you get a warm up for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then you do 8 sets of sprints 7 times. Those sprints are 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. You do them 8 times back to back. So in 4 minutes, you do 8 20-second sprints with a 10-second recovery in between them. We typically have about a minute recovery, and then we do that again. We do that 7 times. So within about 36 minutes of work, you sprint 56 times. Okay? You finish that. You're a winner. You finish that in the fullness of what you came to do. Super winner. But there's some suffering required, okay? The first one's a lot more fluid than the 53rd or the 32nd or even the 24th or the 18th. The deal is, I do believe Tabatas are a great example where you got to suffer a little bit to win. So a couple weeks ago, I teach the 5:30 class. I'm staying to ride with one of my fellow instructors at 7 to ride her hill class and abs class. So between classes, I open up my email and I read this email from Brett Bartholomew. His brand, his passion, his service to the world is he is a coach of coaches. And they are primarily athletic performance coaches. I mean, he's got an audience much broader than just athletic coaches, but that's his expertise, that's his sweet spot. And he applies science and knowledge and human perspective and humanity and grace and passion to that. So I enjoy his content. I enjoy following him. We've chatted a couple of times on social media. Well, I'm reading this email and literally stop reading it after his third point, and that is winners suffer longer. And I thought, geez, hardcore. And then I thought, geez, that's true. Because the reality is, when we're pushing ourselves to the next level of performance, it takes a little anxiety. It takes a little, I've never done that before. It takes a little, I don't know exactly if I'm going to complete this task. But if you don't try, if you don't lean in to perhaps the suffer, it is much more difficult to experience the win, especially when you're growing. He went on to write, this one is simple. If you're determined to do things the right way, you better understand that by default, you've chosen to take a longer and harder road to success. So think about the last 10, 12, 13 months of your life. Think about where you were and where you are. Now, hopefully you're in a better place. And if you're not, I hope you find the strength, the fortitude, the hope, the passion to get a little better today. But let's say you look back and you can hopefully recognize some things that you are better, you are stronger, you are winning more today than you were 3, 6, 9, 12 months ago. As I did that exercise, sitting on the floor, kind of sweating between classes, I realized, you know what? I have had to suffer a great bit to win. But one thing that was different about the suffering is I was so committed to gain the win for me, for my family, for my team, for our clients, for you, that it didn't feel like suffering till I thought about it. However, when I focused on the suffering, I give out. When I lose sight of the goal, I give in to no. And this was proven to me just 2 days ago. We started this challenge in our cycling classes to where we're now up to, after riding for 42 minutes and doing some arms, we're actually doing 30 squats followed by an immediate 2-minute plank. And let me tell you, when I'm right there in front with the microphone on, that 2-minute plank, there is no way I'm breaking plank. But you know what? When I'm riding with another instructor and I don't go into that 2-minute plank with the same fortitude that there's no way I'm breaking this plank, guess what happens? Those arms start shaking, that brain starts getting fuzzy, that plank starts getting loose, and I am just begging for it to be over. Because I focus on the suffering and not the win. So let me tell you, I do believe I am in total alignment with what Brett shared. And in my reflection, it is true that winners suffer longer. But you know what? The suffering is not the end of the story. It is part of the story because we can never forget that winners win. So what do you need to win today? What does your family need for you to win today? What does your team need for you to win today? What do your customers need for you to win today? What do you need to win today? There may be a little suffering. There may be a lot of suffering. But man, claiming the win erases the suffer.
Hey, I really hope this helps and inspires your day. If any of this works on your business this week, I'd love to hear about it in the comments or hey, just message me. Can't wait to see what we chat about next time on How We Grow a Brand. We'll see you soon.